property crash will not make property cheap. The SDRs are making a big mistake in thinking that a property crash will somehow make property cheap, when this is clearly not the case, since property is expensive even during an economic slump. The SDRs believe that it will be easy to buy property on the cheap during a crash, in the hope of making a lot of money by selling the property for a much higher price in the next property boom. But the flaw in this argument is that there is unlikely to be another property boom for at least 20 years, which means that if the SDRs buy a property soon after a crash, they will effectively be spending a lot of money in buying an asset that will not be appreciating in value for many years. Buying a property during a crash will end up being a financial liability, because the value of the property is likely to languish at the bottom for many years and will not rise in value to keep up with inflation, which means that the buyer will be continually losing money in having invested so much in an asset that is not rising in value to keep up with inflation. The SDRs are clearly amateur property speculators who think that they can make it as serious property investors, but serious property investors know that timing is crucial and that there is no point in buying a property if it is not likely to appreciate in value for many years, because it is just tying up money in an asset that is not rising in value to keep up with inflation, which means that buying a property during a crash will end up losing money, because the value of the property will be languishing whilst the value of the property will continually be eroded away by inflation. The SDRs appear completely clueless about the property market and lack the necessary knowledge and understanding about the economic cycle and the basic way the economy works. The SDRs are just fumbling around in the dark and don't have the foggiest idea what they are doing, and are desperately hoping for events to go their way, but this is just plain wishful thinking. The SDRs don't have any idea what the trigger will be that will cause a property crash. They don't know when the crash will occur, by how much house prices will fall, and when the trough in house prices will be reached. What is even worse is that the SDRs are hoping to buy a property on the cheap during a crash without knowing when the next housing boom is likely to occur and by how much house prices will rise in the next property boom. With all this uncertainty, it makes you wonder why the SDRs are bothering and waiting for a property crash to occur, because the SDRs don't know when the next house price boom will occur, and it is likely that the next property boom won't occur until a long and deep recession has occurred that has completely unravelled and unwound the current boom, which will take many, many years.